continue with the technical part where we split this document into three images that are going to be our side, top, and back view. First of all, before you start doing any technical stuff and cropping, you need to pay attention to a couple of things. The two most important things that you have to pay attention is this. Always pay attention that the length of the side, the one that I'm showing in here, the side view, and the length of the top view has to be the same. It has to be. So in order not to have problems later on in Maya, these two images have to be the same in length. They don't have to be the same in height. You can put them like whatever height you like, but they have to be the same in length. The same goes for the side and the back view, but in the opposite direction. They have to be the same in the height. So side and back have to be the same in height. Oops, I'm sorry about that. And side and top have to be the same in length. And another thing that you do is when you start like cropping all this stuff, before you start the cropping, this is how I usually do it. I set a guide and set it up somewhere in the middle of the blade, so technically speaking in the middle of the handle, and this is going to be the middle of my image. So from the guide to the top I measure this distance and I set from this guide to here the same. So when I measure this distance from here to here, the distance from here to here have to be the same. Same goes for the top view. I measure the distance, I set a guide in the middle of the blade, and I measure this distance from here, from the guide to the bottom of the document. And this distance, I find out what is it, and I set the same distance in here. And for the back view, I set a guide in the middle of this part, and the distance from the middle, from the guide to here, to the end of the document, has to be the same from the guide to here. And in that order, I have images or elements that are centered in the image. So that's what I encourage you. Just make your measurements, because 90% of the time they won't fit with my measurements, because I'm in Europe and I use a metric system. So the length of the document is 297 millimeters or 29.7 centimeters, and the height is 210 millimeters or 21 centimeters. So if you use inches, first what you have to do is set up a guide that's going to be used as a central or mid of your, let's say, side image. Measure this distance and make the distance from here to here the same. And also do like make a guide in here, measure the distance from the center of the guide, or from the guide to the bottom of the document, and make this distance the same from here to here. And to the back one, set up a guide that's going to go through the middle of the back view and measure the distance from here to here, so it will be identical from here to here. I have made that measurement, so I'm going to do that now. Just zoom in a little bit, and I'm going to set up the mid of the blade is going to be in here. So as I said, I have measured that before, so that's why I know where it's going to go. And the bottom part of the side view is going to be, oops, I'm sorry about that, in here. So for the top, hold in here. So the distance from here to here is identical from here to here. As I said, I've measured it before, and that's how I know. And just zoom in back part, and it's gonna be somewhere in here and somewhere in here. So okay, so let me zoom in a little bit. So you can see like the distance from here to here is kind of and from here to here is kind of bigger, the distance from here. So this is what I'm going to do. Make the distance a little bit smaller. So now when you see, like when we're gonna crop later on, we're gonna see like the blade in the middle of the image, so it's gonna look proportional. As I said, I've measured this before I started the tutorial, so that's what I encourage you to do. First measure, then set up your guides. And as I said, the most important part is side and top view need to have the same length as images, and back image and side image need to have the same height. That's the most important part in order not to have problems later on in Maya. So what I usually do is save the documents as side PSD. I make another one. I make top PSD and back PSD. So what I do now, I just go to the crop tool. I mean, you can do something like this. Sorry about that. Don't crop. Let's do it again. Okay, it snaps in here. So because we turned in view snap to grid, you can see like they snap perfectly. Bang. So you don't have to pay attention too much. Okay, so this is back PSD crop. Oh, I'm sorry. This is going to be back, so don't crop. I'm sorry about that. So let's do it once again. Okay, you can see snaps, crop, yes, and okay, crop, and Command S, close, open, and open the side. Open, zoom out a little bit, use the crop tool once again. It will snap to the end of the image and snap it in here. So side, okay, crop, Command S, close, and open once again, top. Okay. So what we do once again, crop, snap. So okay, we'll snap once again and crop and save. So what you do now is you have set the 3 images. We have cropped them in separate files. So now you can do just something like this: file, save as, and save it as a JPEG. And hit OK. Close it. Open recent, side, file, save as, JPEG. Okay, and go to the back, file, open, back, and file, save as a JPEG. And now what we have done is we have saved them as JPEGs, and we can use them to import them now into Maya, and they will perfectly align to each other with no problem. So the next step is we're going to load them into Maya as image planes.